Hi everyone, once again welcome back to my channel. I hope you people are doing good. So, as we all have practiced some of the basic questions from ratio and proportions, in this video I'm going to discuss some of the previous year questions of CSATs from 2013 to 2021. If I have missed out any question, please just let me know in the comments. I will definitely discuss that question in my next video. Okay, so the first question is taken from 2021, and the question is a student appeared in six papers. The maximum marks are the same for each paper. His marks in these papers are in the proportion 5 is to 6 is to 7 is to 8 is to 9 is to 10. Overall, he scored 60 percentage. In how many number of papers did he score less than 60% of the maximum marks? So here the question is telling that a student has appeared in an exam in six papers. That is, he wrote six papers, and in that six papers, the maximum marks for each paper are same. And here they have given the proportion of marks as 5 is to 6 is to 7 is to 8 is to 9 is to 10, and here it is also given that the overall score of the student is 60%. And now we have to find out in how many papers the score was less than 60% of total marks. So for this, what I have done is I have considered the marks of each paper as 100. So if one paper is 100, the total marks in six papers will be 600, right? And now here we have the proportion of marks in the 5 is to 6 is to 7 is to 8 is to 9 is to 10 ratio. So I am going to consider these marks as 5x in one subject, 6x in one subject, 7x in one subject, 8x in one subject, 9x in one subject, 10x in one subject. So in this way, I have six subjects marks as 5x, 6x, 7x, 8x, 9x, 10x, right? And here it is also given that overall he scored 60%. That is, out of 600, he has got only 60% marks. So first, let us find out that 60% marks. So 60% out of 600 is 60 by 100 into 600, which is nothing but 360. So the student has scored overall 360 marks out of 600, and this 360 marks is nothing but he has got 5x plus 6x plus 7x plus 8x plus 9x plus 10x is equals to 360. So after solving this, 45x is equals to 360, x is equals to 8. So now we have got the value of x, and now what we have to do is we have to find out the marks of the student in each paper. So in the first paper, which is 5x, the marks will be 5 into 8, which is nothing but 40. In the second paper, it is 6x, which is nothing but 6 into x, that is 48. The third paper is 7x, that is 7 into 8, which is nothing but 56. And the fourth paper is 8x, which is nothing but 8 into 8, that is 64. And the fifth paper is 9x, which is 9 into 8, that is 72. And the last paper is 10x, which is nothing but 10 into 8, that is 80. So by seeing the marks, the student have scored 40, 48, 56, 64, 72 and 80 in 6 papers. So here if you see in the first 3 papers, the student has scored less than 60% of marks. So the answer is 3. So the student has scored less than 60% of marks in 3 subjects. So the option will be 2. Okay. Now the next question is also taken from 2021, and the question is a person P asked one of his 3 friends X has to how much money he had. X replied, if Y gives me rupees 40, then Y will have half of as much as Z. But if Z gives me rupees 40, then 3 of us will have equal amount. What is the total amount of money that X, Y and Z have? So by seeing these questions, we can understand that the questions are easy, but they are given in a bit clumsy manner. That is, the solutions for this question is easy, but to understand the question, we have to have a deep knowledge on the each and every concept that we are preparing for the exam. So when you have deep knowledge on each and every topic, you will be able to answer all the questions. And now the solution for this question is, first thing we are going to do is we will find out the answer for each and every comma. That is, if y gives me rupees 40, then y will have half of as much as z. That is, if y minus 40 is equals to 1 by 2 into z. So X is saying that y, if y gives me 40 rupees, then he will have the money, half of the money that Z has. Okay, and this I have written as y minus 40 is equals to 1 by 2 into Z, and which is nothing but 2 into y minus 40 is equals to Z. Z is equals to 2y minus 80. So I am treating this as equation 1. And the next thing is, next one will be, if Z gives me rupees 40, then three of us will have equal amount. So X is saying that when Z gives him 40 rupees, that is when Z gives 40 rupees, then X, Y and Z will have equal amount. So this can be written as X plus 40 is equals to Y, which is equals to Z minus 40. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to find out the value of X, Y and Z. So first thing is, to find out the value of Y, I am going to take X plus 40 is equals to Y as 1, and Y is equals to Z minus 40 as another part. And now solving this, X is equals to Y minus 40, and here Z is equals to Y plus 40. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to use equation 1 in Z is equals to Y plus 40. That is, Z is equals to Y plus 40, which is nothing but, I have the value of Z as 2y minus 80. Now I am going to use that here. 2y minus 80 is equals to Y plus 40. So y is equals to 120. So now I have the value of y. Now what I'll do is, I will use this y value and I will find out the value of x. That is, here we have already found out x is equals to y minus 40, and now x will be 120 minus 40, which is nothing but x is equals to 80. So now I have got value of x also. Now I have to find out the value of z, because here in the question it is asking us to find out the total amount of money x, y and z have. So to find out the value of z, I am taking z is equals to y plus 40, which is nothing but 120 plus 40, and z is equals to 160. So after finding the values, the total amount of x, y and z is 80 plus 120 plus 160, which is nothing but 360. So I think you have understood this solution. Now the next question is taken from 2020, and the question is, a bottle contains 20 liters of liquid Q. 4 liters of liquid A is taken out of it and replaced by same quantity of liquid B. Again 4 liters of the mixture is taken out and replaced by same quantity of liquid B. What is the ratio of quantity of liquid A to that of liquid B in the final mixture? So here it is telling that we have a bottle of 20 liters, and in that we have liquid Q, and out of that we are taking 4 liters of liquid A and we are filling the same 4 liters with liquid B, and again this process is repeated. Now we have to find out the ratio of liquid A and liquid B in the final mixture. So this question can be solved in a different manner. That is, here first let us focus on liquid A. So first, out of 20 liters we have taken 4 liters, then the solution will be 16 liters, right? So the initial solution was 20 liters, and after taking 4 liters the resultant will be 16 liters. And if you see here, if you consider 20 liters as 100%, and after taking out 4 liters, the solution has decreased to 20%. That is, the solution 4 liters is taken out and there is a decrease of 20%, and this process is repeated again. So again 20% is decrease. So here to find out the ratio of liquid A to liquid B in a very speed manner, what we are going to do is, we are going to apply the formula of successive percentage change. That is, here we have net percentage change as x plus y plus xy by 100. That is, here in both the cases we have a decrease of 20%. So when we have a successive percentage change, we use this formula, and in the same way now I'm going to apply this formula here. So in the value of x I'm going to add minus 20 because there is a decrease of 20%, and in the value of y also I'm going to add minus 20 because in the next the process is repeated, and the value of y will be minus 20. Now minus 20 plus minus 20 plus xy, which is minus 20 into minus 20 divided by 100, that is nothing but minus 40 plus 400 divided by 100, which is nothing but minus 36. So there was overall reduction of 36 percentage. So initially there was 100 liters of liquid A, and now after reduction of 36%, we have left with 64 liters, right? And we have only 64 liters of liquid A in the mixture, and the rest 36 liters will be liquid B. Now we are supposed to find out the ratio of A and B in the final mixture, which is nothing but 64 is to 36, that is 16 is to 9. So option C will be the correct answer. Now coming to the next question, and this question is taken from 2017, because in 2019 and 18 I didn't found any question, and this question is taken from 2017, and the question is, the monthly incomes of x and y are in the ratio of 4 is to 3, and their monthly expenses are in the ratio 3 is to 2. However, each saves 6,000 per month. What is the total monthly income? So here we have the incomes ratio as 4 is to 3, and expenses ratio as 3 is to 2. And if each person saves 6,000, we have to find out their total monthly income. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat the incomes as 4x and 3x. So as we have previously saw that income is equals to expenditure plus savings, here what I'm going to do is I am going to use the formula of expenditure, that is expenditure is equals to income minus savings. Using that formula I am going to find out the income. That is, here it is clearly mentioned that expenses of x and y are in the ratio 3 is to 2. So using this I am going to find out the income. As I already told you, I have considered the incomes as 4x and 3x. Out of this 4x, each one have saving 6,000. So 4x minus 6,000 divided by 3x minus 6,000 is equals to 3 by 2. Okay. Now 2 into 4x minus 6,000 is equals to 3 into 3x minus 6,000. And 8x minus 12,000 is equals to 9x minus 18,000. X is equals to 6,000. So I got the value of x. Now the total incomes of x and y are 4x plus 3x, which is 7x. That is 7 into 6,000, which is 42,000. So the total incomes of x and y are 42,000, which is nothing but option B. And the next question is taken from 2016, and this question the question is asking, in a class there are 18 very tall boys. If these boys constitute 3/4 of the boys and total number of boys is 2/3 of the total number of students in the class, what is the number of girls in the class? So if you carefully observe all the questions that I am explaining, the questions are a bit tricky, but the solutions are very easy. So by this you have come to conclusion that the questions that are asked in UPSC CSAT are a bit tricky questions, and if you know the concept very clearly, you will definitely understand the question and you will definitely get the solution. So try to practice more questions related to each and every topic, and try to get speed calculations also. So now coming to the question, here I'm going to consider the boys as x and the students as y. Very tall boys. if these constitute 3/4 of boys. Okay, so here it is telling that there are 18 boys and these boys are 3/4 of total number of boys. That is 3 by 4 x is equals to 18 and 3x is equals to 20, sorry, 18 into 4, which is nothing but x is equals to 24. That is total number of boys are 24. Now I have got total number of boys. The next thing is the total number of boys is 2/3 of total number of students in the class. So here it is telling that the total number of boys, that is x is equals to 2/3 of y, which is 2/3 of students. So this can be written as 3x is equals to 2y. I have the value of x, that is 3 into 24 is equals to 2y and y is 36. Now I have got the total number of students as 36. Now we have to find out the number of girls in the class. So I have 36 students and out of this 36 I have 24 boys. If I subtract number of boys from total number of students, I get the value of girls has 12, which is nothing but option number B. And the next question is from 2015, which is nothing but the question is given as the total incomes of Peter and Paul are in the ratio 4 is to 3. Their expenses are in the ratio 3 is to 2. If each saves 6,000 at the end of month, their monthly incomes respectively are. So here also, if you see carefully, this question is a repeated question, but here they have changed the name as Peter and Paul. This question I have already discussed previously, and in that previous question I have found out the total incomes of X and Y, but here they are asking the separate incomes of Peter and Paul. So the solution for both the answers will be same, but in this question you have to find out their monthly incomes separately, and in that question you have to find out the total monthly income. So I think this question can be solved by you. The next question is taken from 2013 and the question is, in a garrison there was food for 1000 soldiers for 1 month. After 10 days 1000 more soldiers joined the garrison. How long would the soldiers be able to carry on with the remaining food? So here it is clearly told that for at first there were 1000 soldiers and the food for 1000 soldiers was given for 1 month, and after 10 days 1000 more soldiers were added and the food was the same, the food was not increased, and now they have told that these 2000 soldiers should adjust that food, and we have to find out for how many days that food can be eaten by these 2000 soldiers. So for this what I have done is, initially for 1000 soldiers the food was given for 30 days. So after 10 days 1000 more soldiers added, that is 2000 soldiers. The total 2000 soldiers should eat that food for remaining days. So I have considered that remaining days as x days. Now what I am doing is I am taking indirect proportion, because whenever there are more number of men, the food that is lasting here can be eaten for less number of days. So following this, if there are 1000 soldiers, the food can be eaten for 20 days, but here there are 2000 soldiers. I don't know for how many days they can eat, and I have considered that as x. So by using indirect proportion, 2000 so divided by 1000 is equals to 20 divided by x, and after solving this I got x has 10. That is, these 2000 soldiers can eat the food for remaining 10 days. That is, they can only carry this food for 10. And the last question is from 2013, that is, out of 120 applications for a post, 70 are male and 80 have a driving license. What is the ratio between minimum and maximum number of males having driver's license? So here it is clearly given that we have 120 applications, and in that 120 applications 70 are males. So if 70 are males and the remaining 50 will be females, right? And it is also given that out of these 120, 80 of them have driver license. Okay, and we have to find out the maximum and minimum number of males who have driver license. So what I am doing is I am considering the maximum number of males who have driver's license as 70, because we all know that the compulsorily 70 males will have driving license. So considering that, the maximum number of males will have 70. And now coming to the minimum number of males, out of 80, if 50 females have driver's license, the remaining 30 will be men. Okay, so now minimum number of males are 30. So the ratio of minimum to maximum number of males who have driver's license is 30 is to 70, which is nothing but 3 is to 7. I think you have understood the solution. So these are the previous year questions from CSAT, and if I have missed out any question, please just let me know in the comment section below. I will explain the solution for that questions also. So thanks for watching this video.